Next this morning, the Advertising Standards Authority is to recommend that adverts featuring gender stereotypical roles like these should be banned.
I hardly ever buy fairy liquid. I hardly ever buy fairy liquid. I hardly ever buy fairy liquid. I hardly ever buy fairy liquid.
That's because Fairy's cleaning power lasts a long, long time. Generations have trusted it, and today it lasts up to 50% longer than the next best-selling brand. Trust Fairy, and you'll hardly ever have to buy it either.
She's a lady. Oh, 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 she's a lady. Talking about the
At least someone knows how to treat you well.
Let's talk to Craig Jones from the Advertising Standards Authority, calling for tougher regulations to address what they say are harmful stereotypes used by advertisers. Also with us, Peter Lloyd, author of Stand By Your Manhood, who writes about issues affecting men. Craig Jones, what are you worried about?
Well, we've conducted an 18-month research project into this area, and we've talked to parents and children and young people, and what they've told us, along with their representative groups as well, is that there are some gender stereotypes in advertising which can be harmful.
Like what?
Well, the examples we've given include, for example, a family sort of trashing the house and then the mother having sole responsibility for cleaning up. Another one is
that may be true, though, in some households.
Well, what we've found is that what we're certainly not saying is that we want to ban all images of women cleaning or men doing DIY. I don't want people to get the impression that this is about eliminating all gender stereotypes in advertising. It's not. It's just the harmful ones.
And what harm do you think is happening because of gender stereotypical ads?
Well, the harm that we found is that those very normalised kind of predetermined roles can have a sort of drip effect on young people and children as they're growing up, and it really affects it affects how they see themselves and how the world sees them. And what we found is that it sort of limits their aspirations, whether it's to do with their studies or their careers.
You've actually got evidence that shows a link between gender stereotypical ads and a teenager's aspirations being limited.
We have, yeah. We've commissioned an independent piece of research. It's a long-standing big piece of research that's talked to young people and children and parents and given us this evidence. Also representative groups as well.
Anecdotal. It's people saying, I think my aspirations might be limited by that ad, rather than actually the reality.
Well, it's actually talking to children and young people themselves and asking them what impression they're left with. And for a lot of people, with the particularly egregious examples of gender stereotyping, the harmful ones, what they're telling us is that it can give them the sense of narrowed aspirations, of narrowed opportunities as they get older.
I haven't given you much time, Peter. What do you think? Tell Craig what you think.
I think this is very worrying. I don't think that censorship is the way forward in advertising. I'm happy to see an interchangeability between the gender roles, but to censor is very concerning to me. The ASA should be primarily concerned with ensuring that advertisers don't mislead their clients and their customers. They shouldn't be making arbitrary judgments on whether they don't like a feminist or non-feminist advert. That's ridiculous. I think this is just an organisation that is imposing a rather left-wing political view on the free market, and I think that's a pretty sad day for advertising. And I also think it means that the ASA have a pretty dim view of consumers who can make up their own minds about products.
I mean, the ASA has been dealing with harmful advertising as well as misleading advertising for over 50 years now. And, we've commissioned this evidence because we wanted to check our standards were in the right place. We've traditionally taken action on some gender stereotypical roles, like body image, unhealthily thin models. I'm sure even you, Peter, would agree that in that case there's some real harm there. But what we found is that in terms of roles and characteristics, we need to do a little bit more when it comes to the harmful roles and characteristics. Not all of them, though.
Well,
5 seconds.
I think you're saying it's a harmful stereotype. I think it's more a biological reality that your political organisation don't appreciate.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thank you very much. Tomorrow we're live in North Kensington. Join us then.